6:30 on the dot. Good evening and welcome to Prime TV News. I'm Chamila Guntelaka. The constructions of Sri Lanka's biggest investment zone will commence tomorrow by spending more than 720 billion rupees. We will go into more details on this story in a while. However, the headlines first. The national ceremony to announce the Theravada Tripitaka as a World Heritage takes place in Kandy. The constructions of Sri Lanka's biggest investment zone will commence tomorrow. The Prime Minister says the government hopes to provide ownership of a plot of land to everyone. Australia's largest ever defence engagement with Sri Lanka begins. The US ally SDF declares victory over the Islamic State. Certainly critical news on the international front, but we will begin with the local news first. The constructions of Sri Lanka's biggest investment zone will commence tomorrow by spending more than 720 billion rupees. The constructions will begin under the patronage of Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. The Hambantota project, which generates 2,000 jobs for people, will revitalize the economy of the country. It will be constructed as the Hambantota Mirijavila Export Processing Zone, concentrated on 2 mega projects. Under the first phase of the project, the government hopes to build a large oil refinery and a factory. The oil refinery will produce fuel needed for the export market. The cement factory being built at Hambantota will produce cement needed for local constructions. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe says the government hopes to provide the ownership of a plot of land to everyone. The Prime Minister said this while attending a function in Batticaloa. The ceremony to hand over allowance permits for the farmers who are living in state lands and who have developed lands took place under the patronage of the Prime Minister. 7,200 allowance permits were handed over on the occasion. The project has been implemented at many districts at present. Accordingly, more than 240,000 have been given since 2015. 15,000 land plots island-wide have been identified to give ownership permits. Australia's largest ever defence engagement with Sri Lanka began today. Indo-Pacific Endeavour 2019 commenced with the arrival of a joint task force comprised of the Royal Army, Navy and Air Force assets with over 1,000 personnel. HMAS Canberra and HMAS Newcastle arrived in Colombo Port. HMAS Parramatta and HMAS Success docked in Trincomalee Port. Australian and Sri Lankan Defence Forces will spend next week working together on disaster assistance planning, naval manoeuvres and military training activities to improve cooperation, familiarity and interoperability. Australian Air Force assets will also visit Mattala Airport. Sri Lanka is a partner of choice for Australia and the first country visited on this multi-nation exercise.
I'm very pleased to be here on the very first day of Indo-Pacific Endeavour 2019 with 2 of the Royal Australian Naval ships just arriving into the port in Colombo. Another 2 will be arriving in Trincomalee today and they will disembark over 1,000 Australian Defence Force personnel. Very proud to have this opportunity to engage with the Sri Lankan Tri-Services and with the Sri Lankan government to deepen our engagement with Sri Lanka as a partner of choice.
Look, this is the first stop of our Indo-Pacific Endeavour engagement mission. It's an important stop given the history that Sri Lanka holds in the Indian Ocean and in the present time, and I believe into the future. We want to be part of the Sri Lankan involvement in the Indian Ocean for the future, and we want Sri Lanka to be happy to have us as a strategic partner in the Indian Ocean. So I have 1,000 soldiers, sailors and airmen who are individual ambassadors for Australia, who are eager to get ashore, engage at the personal level, engage at the ship level and engage at the national level.
Still on local news tonight, the Department of Examinations says they will be able to release the results of the GCE O-level examination 2018 as early as next week. The department said that 656,641 candidates sat for the exam last year. The China Export-Import Bank has agreed to provide a concessionary loan of $989 million to the Central Expressway project from Kadawatha to Mirigama. This is the single largest loan amount approved to Sri Lanka by the China Export-Import Bank. The project will create an undivided link connecting harbour, airport and commercial cities from Hambantota to Katunayaka and Kandy. This will enhance the efficiency and inter-provincial connection of the entire expressway network. Secretary to the Finance Ministry, Dr. R.H.S. Samaratunga, and Chinese Ambassador in Sri Lanka, Cheng Zhuejuan, signed the loan agreement. It has been decided to suspend excavations of the Mannar mass grave for 3 months. The decision has been taken following a discussion at the Mannar Court Complex. Archaeological and police officers as well as the Mannar Magistrate attended the discussion. It has been decided to cover the bone fragments found so far to protect them. A radiocarbon test done in a US laboratory found that these bone fragments belong to the period of 1456 and 1656. Thereafter, the Mannar Magistrate ordered to temporarily suspend excavations for 3 months. The inaugural ceremony of the academic sessions of the Sri Lanka Defence College Medical Lecturers Association took place recently in Colombo. The sessions were launched under the patronage of Defence State Minister Ruwan Wijewardena. The theme of the sessions is Future Vision of Defence Medical Services and Developing Defence Civil Cooperation. 30 local and foreign lecturers were scheduled to exchange views during the sessions today and tomorrow. Defence Secretary Hemsiri Fernando, the 3 armed forces commanders and foreign military delegates were present on the occasion.
For humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, whether at home or abroad, it will be the military medical corps that will also be activated as first responders. This was clearly evident during the Southeast Asian tsunami in 2004 that devastated Sri Lanka as well as many other countries in this region. Many mobile hospitals were set up by the military medical teams, which helped to improve the health care given to the survivors, as well as the efforts they carried out in burying the deceased itself averted a second disaster. They also paved the way for civilian care givers to arrive secondarily and carry out their task in a less challenging environment. The excellent work of military, medical, and dental officers that are carrying out in various United Nations peacekeeping missions throughout the world, risking their own lives for the sake of greater good and for humanity. When military medicine communities from different countries collaborate and cooperate, as they do in these academy sessions, when they share experiences and expertise, I think our entire countries and residents will benefit other than the soldiers.
Still on local news tonight, the President Maithripala Sirisena has emphasized that despite the obstacles, the task to declare the Theravada Tripitaka as a World Heritage will be achieved. He said this while addressing the national religious ceremony to announce the request to declare the Theravada Tripitaka a World Heritage. The national religious ceremony to announce the proposal to request the UNESCO to conserve the Theravada Tripitaka as a World Heritage was held at the Mahamaluwa of the Sri Dalada Maligawa in Kandy. The Mahasangha, led by the Mahanayakas of the 3 chapters, President Maithripala Sirisena, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and parliamentarians were present on the occasion. The Mahanayaka of the Malwatu chapter, the Most Venerable Tibbatuave Sri Sumangala Thera, the Mahanayaka Thera of the Askiriya chapter, the Most Venerable Varakagoda Sri Jnanaratana Thera, the Mahanayaka Thera of the Amarapura Nikaya, the Most Venerable Kotugoda Dhammavasa Thera, and the Mahanayaka of the Ramanya Nikaya, the Most Venerable Napane Pemasiri Thera, delivered Anusasana at the ceremony. The Electricity Board implemented the pilot project to create artificial rains near Mau Sakale catchment area yesterday. Our reporter said as a result, rains did occur in the area. An Air Force plane scattered chemicals above 8,000 feet over the Mau Sakale reservoir. It was conducted with special technical assistance from Thailand. The technique to create artificial rains by scattering chemicals near clouds was used. The Electricity Board said it would be conducted again within the next few days over the Mau Sakale and Kazalre catchment areas. The community project to protect the environment and to make the Sri Pada's sacred area a place without garbage is underway. The third voluntary project was launched today, organized by ITN and Link Natural Private Limited. The program was supported by state institutions and local government bodies. The cleaning is done from Nallathanya to the upper precincts of Sri Pada under the project. Volunteer organizations and students are helping in the efforts to clean the area. The aim of the project is to protect the Sri Pada area for present and future generations. That concludes our news bulletin tonight. Prime TV News will return tomorrow, and in the meantime, you can log on to www.itnnews for more information. I'm Chamila Guntilaka signing out. Good night.